moments, we get these tidal currents that come racing out of Cape Cod Bay. They eventually hit the steep walls of the bay, and at that point, the currents really have no place to go but up. So we call these type of currents upwellings. We also have some other currents that come into the bay. They come down from the north and around the bay and up from the south. If when you get a north-south current that meets, that's a convergence. If you have an upwelling, and if you have a convergence, basically what happens is the nutrients that have normally settled to the bottom of the ocean floor, they get lifted up on the currents. They're brought up to the surface of the water, and they're exposed to the light of the sun. This is going to facilitate something that we call a plankton loop. Now, phytoplankton are the primary producers of our entire food chain. Phytoplankton gets fed upon by larger organisms that are called zooplankton, and the zooplankton are fed upon by bigger things, like fish. A wide variety of fishes in these waters. At one time we had a lot of cod. We've got herring, mackerel. We even have giant tuna. We also have an interesting little fish that's called a sea eel. Some people call it a sea lance. It's really long and skinny. This is the actual size of this fish. It doesn't get much bigger than about 7 or 8 inches long. But believe it or not, this is the primary diet of the whales that we're all looking for today. This tiny little fish. Now, it's a sand lance. Some people call it a sand eel, yeah? Some of you fishermen may be familiar with it. It's a great bait fish. Now, we know it takes about 60 of these fish just to make up 1 pound. We also know that one humpback whale probably needs to take in about 1 ton of fish per day. So if you do the numbers, you're talking about 120,000 of these little fish just for one whale for 1 day. That's a lot of fish. Now the whales that feed on these animals, they're referred to as filter feeders or baleen whales. Some people call them mysticete whales. This is baleen, and this is what you find in the mouths of these whales. Now they don't have any teeth to hunt and catch their food with. Instead they have this baleen, and it acts like a big giant filtering mechanism or a big giant net right inside the whale's mouth. Now in my hand here, I've got about 6 or 7 individual baleen plates. In a whale's mouth, you're going to find about 800 of these. They all hang down from the upper jaw of the whale, and they just kind of wrap around the mouth like this big, huge, giant curtain, all hanging down. So you got